councils formed, as much as we are concerned, they are legal and they're going to go on.
Yeah.
Is that why we've not seen any key arrests in the country? Because all the noise then we're getting from the Kenya Kwanza side would essentially just be classified again, for lack of a better word, noise.
Yeah. History is beautiful. In fact, Simba, as a strategist, a good student in his strategy must be good in history.
Yes.
In the history of this nation, no case has succeeded. Because normally when you go to court, you are charged of unlawful assembly, isn't it?
Yes.
Destruction of property. It's been since independence. Even Raila Odinga was arrested for the same reasons. They have never succeeded. And that's why even during Moi, there was what we call unlawful detention, meaning that you are detaining them because there's nothing in law that can succeed against anybody who was demonstrating. Because it's protected, the right protected in the Constitution. In fact, for me, the fact that these people are still making noise like that, it just shows how ignorant, arrogant, imposing, and the disrespect of law that they are. From the president, deputy president, to Kindiki, to the inspector general, all those people are breaking law. The only that can succeed, if I go to court now and sue the inspector general for having unlawfully declared mass action illegal, that can be hard, because that can be stated in court, because he said it's illegal. Which chapter in Constitution is quoting? What's the illegalities? Kithure Kindiki even went to declare a curfew on a Maandamano. The law will state the parameters under which there can be a curfew. He says the curfew is between 7 and 6 p.m. in the evening. What is a curfew? Curfew is declared when there is what's called a security threat, isn't it? And the security threat should not be potential. It should be real. We can't say that we suspect, for example, we suspect tomorrow you are going to break the law, let us arrest you. No, you can't do that. Because how do you suspect? If it's in my mind, we are going for peaceful demonstration, peaceful. Now, the only thing is that all of them turn out violent, but the violent part is, it is not only about the protesters, it is twofold. Because when people are going to the street, the policemen are going to the street, Kenyans are going to the street, the outcome will depend on the behavior of each of them. The person declaring the protest actually cannot be said they have broken the law. So I can tell you, if I'm president, I will just be humble enough and find a solution to this Maandamano. Because Raila has known that dawa yako ni Maandamano. And he will do it every day.
Yes. Some analysts prophesying that Maandamano is not going to work at the end of the day. And I want you to read into what the president has always spoken about every time the Azimio coalition has threatened to go out and organize the demos. Let me take you back to the very first one that they announced. And I know President William Ruto said, I'm going to show them this time who the president is. So what happened, the Azimio coalition did not listen, did not heed to that threat. They went to the streets, they organized their demos. Last weekend as well, he said, I'm not going to allow this nonsense going on in this country. I'm going to show them as well why I'm the president of the Republic of Kenya. Again, you get this feeling that nobody is reading again.
But, Simba, just to be honest, yes. Only stupid Kenyans still listens to President Ruto's statements that I won't allow this and allow that. Let's start look at it. Look at the Baragoi. He goes there, flies in a chopper, military plane, and says, you will know who I am, isn't it? Before he lands to Nairobi, bombarded. Is it not true? This evidence. He went there and told them, try me. That clip, you have it. Try me. Actually, that's what's it. Yeah. And before he landed in Nairobi, they had tried him. What did he do? He has gone quiet on that, isn't it? These people make statements they can't do. In fact, let me tell you what, and this is take to the bank. If Ruto has no advisors, let me advise him. What made Raila whom he is nothing else other than unlawful arrest. Raila was being arrested for Maandamano. This is what has made Raila. So whatever he's doing, he's making Raila bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes.
This is a monster. The more you threaten him, you make him bigger. If you feed a monster gets bigger. If you starve a monster, it gets smaller.
Do you feel this time around that the situation might be different, Prof, going by how the Wednesday demos then
just
were
give me
carried
time,
out?
I also explain to you a little bit.
Yes.
According to my intelligence, which I think is good enough, the demonstration that took place on Wednesday last week,
Yes.
there were many people demonstrating for different reasons. For example, how comes all the Kenyans who are killed with a bullet were stray bullets? There's no bullet who was aimed at anyone and they killed that person. What were these bullets aiming at? Does it make sense that all the people who died of stray bullets? But who are targeted and died? So either policemen in Kenya have not known how to target the bullets, isn't it? You see, it does make sense, isn't it? Secondly, there were some demonstrations which were more damaging that were completely no arrest, no harassment. For example, the people who did damage of the expressway,
Yes.
they did it in broad daylight. They were completely undisturbed, completely unharassed, completely untear-gassed,
Yes.
and completely unarrested.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say is that there were some demonstrations which, from my intelligence, were organized by Kenya Kwanza. Now they're trying to say the damage was too big now, we can't allow it. I'm telling you, there's a lot of politics in this demonstration.
This is what Kithure Kindiki is saying, that indeed is red fatigue into the police force in the country in terms
No,
of
they
managing
did
these
it.
demos.
They did
Yes.
it intentionally.
Yes.
Because can you tell me the police intelligence could not tell that there were people in expressway? They could not tell there was a plan because Kenyans are very easy. They even chat on WhatsApp group and say tomorrow to tenda expressway to Peleke Chini.
Yes.
So these things they know. So I'm telling you, there are some demonstrations which could only be organized by government. They were so well executed
Yes.
and so well protected that they were done. For example, look at 2020-2007. There were two types of demonstration. One was Raila Odinga, William Ruto and his gangs were demonstrating against Kibaki government. At the same time, there were demonstrations which were being done by the government people against the opposition.
Yes.
I was in Mombasa at that time. I know the guys who are organizing demonstration protected by police. So this demonstration had the same thing, like Eldoret is where Ruto has been, banned forest where he organized against the government, isn't it? But if you look also, Uhuru Kenyatta was being accused for having organized again other gangs against Kenyans, and Uhuru Kenyatta was on the side of government.
Yes.
So history repeats itself. That's why, allow me just to explain something which worries me. What worries me now in this demonstration is not about whether Ruto is saying the truth or not. What worries me is that it's been orchestrated, it's beginning to look like 207, 208. Why? There was a PG meeting, parliamentary group meeting, in State House, chaired by the president. And the statement there was that how MPs can use their supporters to counteract Azimio demonstrators, isn't it? Yesterday, there was a PG at Jaramogi Oginga Foundation of Azimio MP saying the protest is on. Remember, in the ICC case, was that you have to prove there was a meeting that planned the deaths. You understand?
Yes.
That's why Operation Dogatuzi has gone to ICC to put a case. We have already put a petition yesterday to ICC to come and avert this case. And also we've told them, come to the country, collect data because they're going to happen on Wednesday. Don't wait to come collect data which has disappeared after some time. Send your officers. Actually, they will come. They promise us they're going to come by today. They are going to collect data on what will happen on Wednesday. Because look, the meeting took place State House. They said, let's go on. Police officers, Kindiki and these guys have said, we will give you support. You understand? So the protesters from Kenya Kwanza's side on their MPs, they will be backed and defended by the police service, the security service. That's true. That's what happens. The Azimio supporters will be facing the Kenya Kwanza protesters,
Yes.
Anti-protest forces,
Yes.
backed by the police. We can see bloodbath. You understand? And that's why I have made calls even to NCC. They're supposed to have a press conference today. They are looking for how to meet the president today with a view of convincing him to withdraw these things so that there is no protest. So
Yes.
I'm still praying, Simba, from my heart, that we don't go to protest on Wednesday.
Yes.
So I'm still having some 50-50 chance that there might be no
Yes.
demonstration on Friday, on Wednesday, because we can see the making of a bloodbath.
That indeed, if we're going to say that the protests have been successful,
Yeah.
that is us saying that Raila Odinga and the Azimio coalition have forced the president to act. But if you look at the hangers-on, or on the Kenya Kwanza government,
Yeah.
we like to call them the president boys,
Yes.
they are hell-bent on not giving audience to Raila Odinga. That indeed, everything that we're going to do, we have to follow it constitutionally. That is why, upon the suggestion that whatever it is that the bipartisan negotiations we're going to come up with, Prof, they still had to go to Parliament to be debated upon, and whatever was going to pass would have passed following the law, and that's what they did not want. Is that the scenario that now Ruto doesn't want to lose to Raila Odinga, essentially giving us a picture of a stronger, better president?
Yeah, I see, Simba Odiono said when I told you, and this is similar to the Finance Act. The Finance Act was crafted that it is no longer about the economy, it was Raila versus Ruto. We end up passing a draconian Finance Act that now is being repealed. Even we have a petition. In as much as Okiya Omtata has repealed that it should be suspended, Operation Gatuzi has found 160 clauses in the Constitution which have been faulted,
Yes.
and it will be withdrawn altogether. So this one also, the motion is, you see the headline, the two
Yes.
men facing each other.
As
It is Ruto versus Raila. So the supremacy battles is between the two of them.
Yes.
Unfortunately, none of them will die, but a Kenyan will die. So this is a bad way to frame issues. That is Raila Odinga versus Ruto. Let us look for who needs to win.
Yes.
One, Professor George Saitoti said there comes a time when the nation becomes more important than individuals.
Awesome.
And for now, it is not about between Raila and Ruto who wins. Should Kenya lose so that the two individuals succeed, Simba? I'm looking at it from the Kenyan perspective. Kenya needs to win tomorrow. And so long as there's no mass action tomorrow, I don't care who has won or lost. In fact, the supporters of William Ruto should also bear with me this fact. And supporters of Raila Odinga should also bear with us this fact. It's not about Raila Odinga winning. At least I don't want to disclose, but you know that in Kenya, somebody falls on either side. But for me, even if I was in Ruto's side or Raila's side, I'm not concerned about their winning. Ruto has won already, he's the president. Raila has won already because Raila has been a serious politician, he has a legacy. Raila has an earth-shaking legacy. So for me,
yes. But Prof,
magnanimity is what should win tomorrow.
yes, even as we talk about losing and not winning, see, Raila Odinga is also changed till now.
Yeah.
He's again gone back and said, as we demonstrate, we are also going to collect 10+ million signatures that would essentially remove that guy from office,
Yes.
to show him that Kenyans do not want him in that office, that he is essentially illegitimate.
Yeah.
So by the end of the day, is that if indeed then Ruto decides to speak to Raila Odinga, it will be like, I won, so you gotta speak to me. Is that not the scenario that is making this situation complicated?
If you ask me,
yes,
I don't know who are Raila Odinga's advisors. I would advise Raila Odinga, if me, to collect the signatures first, reach 10 million,
yes,
and then from there, demand that this guy leaves office,
yes,
and then if not, then he goes for Maandamano. It will make more sense than doing them concurrently. Because now people are being focused that, is it Maandamano that is going to give you what you want, or the signature collection? I've seen the ODM issued a statement by saying, let us do both. For example, you are praying to God, God, give me a good wife, isn't it? But for you, instead of waiting for God to give a good wife, you've been looking for one. So God wonders, which one are you waiting for? Are you waiting for my blessing, or you are waiting for your own blessing? And maybe, let's just give an anecdote here. There's a book we says that you cannot cheat God. So there's an atheist who was climbing a mountain.
yes,
Then by bad luck, he was sliding and almost falling off the cliff. Then fortunately for a moment, he touches a leaf, a branch of a tree, and he's now hanging on it. But the branch starts to break. Then he says, God, I know I don't believe in you, but save me. If you save me on this one, I'll forever believe in you. God said, leave that branch. So when God told him, leave that branch, guess what? Did he leave the branch? No. So you can't cheat God. So what I'm trying to say is Raila Odinga's bet on the signature or the bet is a Maandamano? According to me, the way he launched the signature, the collection is going on very well. He should just focus on those signatures. He can collect them in a few weeks from now. Then from there now put pressure, because Kenyans have given you 10 million signatures. Ruto won with 7.1 million signatures. If you get 10 million signatures, you have legitimized yourself. And use that clause, which is Article 1 of the Constitution, to now negotiate. But on this Maandamano thing, you are now being branded as a warlord. First of all, pursue a peaceful one.
Yes.
In fact, if you ask me, Simba, Kenyans need to be educated on what you call non-violent demonstrations, non-violent moves. Mahatma Gandhi did it in India. No single person was shot. Mahatma Gandhi did non-violent movement. It was a powerful movement. It worked with a bigger population. Those options are there. We cannot always going for violent options. But what I'm trying to say here is that Ruto is a different guy. And Raila has discovered that what this guy understands is the chaos that takes place on Maandamano Day.
Or doesn't. Or
Yes.
doesn't, Prof.
Yes.
Because
And then
it's not budging, is it?
Yeah. Then the other thing I want to tell you,
Yes.
I think I just forgot the point, but it's important. When you hear that this claim by Kindiki and Kenya Kwanza guys, sorry, that Azimio people are paying protesters throughout the country, let me ask you, which one is cheaper? Azimio lost the election. One reason was that they didn't pay their agents. So if you cannot even pay your agents, why could you spend money on protesters? For me, it does not make sense. It's completely ridiculous. If they are doing it, I'll be extremely shocked with them.
Yeah.
But most likely, they are not. You know the kind of style of politician, let's look at Raila Odinga, look at Ruto. These politicians are very different. People love Raila for true. And let us be honest, look at when he appeared on Pronto restaurant in town. He was just in a bus in town. All of a sudden, he was addressing a large crowd. Uhuru Kenyatta, even Gatundu cannot get such a crowd.
Yes.
Isn't it? Then he went to eat nyama choma in Kenyatta Market.
Yes.
They were just in a nyama choma eating thing. All of a sudden, he's addressing a rally. Simba, try to be a politician. To even find 50 people turning up to your rally is a lot of effort. You might get only your wife, your children, and maybe your mother coming, and maybe your driver whom you are paying. It is not easy to get such a crowd. So I'm telling you, for me,
Yes.
people love Raila. This is honesty, isn't it? Ruto is the kind of politician that invests a lot of money, isn't it? And giving people position. That's why you find his government is very heavy with appointees who are being rewarded, because for him, love is give me, I give you, transactional. Raila is true love. You understand? This is true.
Yes.
Even this is what Uhuru feared about Raila, that people just love him.
Does it? Prof, I want us to come from the break because our online community has questions that have essentially been to you and they've been commenting online. That is at Lookup TV across all your social media platforms. I see you, Vitalis, Chorus. I see you, Mogash, Emmanuel. I see you, Mary Elliot. I see you, Abdullahi, Shaban Mohammed, and then Nelly Franklin as well. I'll be coming back with this particular comments and questions to Prof once we come from this tiny break, because then the last part of our conversation this morning with Prof is going to be, so what next really? Because if indeed the country is going to go down the same way it went last week Wednesday, is the president going to sit back and say, it's all right, let it be, once we come back?